joining from. Your name, what you do, and where you are joining from. So, as I said earlier, today we'll be talking about, I'll be running us through how to use artificial intelligence for research and report writing. And then we'll move to introduction to vibe coding, using artificial intelligence to build websites or mobile apps for different usage. Yeah, so these are the tools that we'll be using. The first I'm going to introduce us to is Queen AI, QWEN, Queen AI, Queen AI, Queen AI, Queen AI, QWEN. So here is the link, or you just type Queen AI on your browser, and then it's going to give you that. The next one is Notebook LM, Notebook LM, Notebook LM. And then the next one is Google Gemini. I believe we all know Google Gemini. If you know Google Gemini, can you give me a thumbs up? Google Gemini. Google Gemini. Yeah, I can see we know Google Gemini. So the next one is Claude AI. Claude AI. Claude AI. And then the last one that I'll be talking about, which we should know, but many people do not really use it, is DeepSeek. DeepSeek. DeepSeek AI. DeepSeek AI. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell us is the manner of arrangement of how to use it to get the best results. The manner of arrangement of how to use it to get the best results. So in getting the best results, the first tool that you should engage out of the list of these tools is Notebook LM. That's the first that we are going to be using. After we go with Notebook LM, then we move to Google Gemini. And after Google Gemini, we move to DeepSeek, and then we move to Queen, and then Claude will be the last for the finalization of the structure and everything. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Kindly give me a thumbs up once you can see my screen. So I'll be sharing my screen. Kindly give me thumbs up once you can see my screen. So I believe we can see my screen now. I believe we can see my screen now. So I have, yeah, okay. So what we want to work with is Notebook LM. Now, once you click on your Notebook LM, you are going to see, okay, so let me try to get to the Notebook LM. So immediately click on Notebook LM, you are going to see something like this, Gemini Notebook. You click on it. After clicking on it, it's going to load, and then you are going to see a place where you can create an account if you do not already have an account. I already have an account, so it will not ask me to create an account. So I will just go straight to Google Notebook LM. And Notebook LM was created, is part of the Google tool, and it is used to, it is basically created for research purposes. So those of us that are researchers or that have taxes around research in your job role or in your specification or in your business, Notebook LM is something you should be familiar with. So what we'll do now is I'm going to click on, you can see I've been using Notebook LM for different different purposes. If you see, I started using it as far back as 2025. After it was released, not few months ago, as at that time. So once you click on it, once you click, you register, you are going to see create new notebook. So you just click on create new notebook. I want somebody that has a research that he or she wants to do. You can drop it in the chat box below so that we can work on it together and use it as a test. A kind of research that you know can be in public, that is not going to breach the privacy of your organization or your business. So kindly just drop it. So what I mean by that is that everybody can see. So it should not be something that is personal to your organization that an external person should not see. So let's see if we have any, and then we'll work with that. If we do not have, we'll just bring up an idea and use that. We'll just bring up an idea. So anybody, I'm currently looking at the chat, but if I'll see anybody, okay, so I assume nobody. Now let's go to Notebook LM, and let's say we want to research about, how many of us know that Aliko Dangote group of company has up to, I think last time I checked, 3, up to, has more than 12 companies under his name. How many of us know that? How many of us know that? If you know that, give me a thumbs up. Aliko Dangote has more than 12 companies. Oh, you don't know? Okay, he has. Aside from the refinery, the Dangote cement, and then the spaghetti and noodles and all those stuff, and the salt, he has a solar organization. He also has a lot of things to his name that are not very much pronounced. So let's do a bit of what can we do? Someone should give us a suggestion. What should we make a research on? Let's be quick about it so that we can get okay, let's do a research on the impact of artificial intelligence. So let's say the impact of AI on teenagers and how it affects their attention and how it affects their attention. So what can we include again? How it affects their IQ and addiction to the tool. So what we do basically is we click on the search part, and then we type the topic we want to make a research on. Now, if you have links to websites that you want Notebook LM to consult in the process of this research, you are going to click on web, and then you click on the web. Immediately you click on the web, Notebook LM is going to understand that you want it to search through webs to get any kind of content that is found online that is related to that particular topic that you're talking about. Another thing that you see immediately I clicked on the web is Drive. So this Drive is, you might have some materials that are saved in your Google Drive that you want the Notebook LM to have access to, that will help Notebook LM to better get more results for its research. So you can also click on that. But if you do not have any, you just leave it to web, and then you just click on this arrow in front of the fast research. So immediately you click on the arrow, it is going to start loading. And what Notebook LM is going to do practically is Notebook LM is going to go to the internet, Google, Wikipedia, and every sources online. It is going to read through all the materials that are available and then extract the materials that are related to your research. It is going to extract the academic materials that are related to your research. So after it has extracted it, it is going to give it to you like this. So these are what we have as results. So we have here, we have seven results. So you can see your brain on ChatGPT, but whose brain? That's one research. You can see AI addiction, signs, effects, and who is at risk. Another research is your brain on ChatGPT, accumulation of cognitive depth when using an AI assistant. How AI is affecting teens' mental health and brain development, and a lot of all of those results. So we have 10 sources selected. 10 sources selected. Can you give me a thumbs up if we are still together? Can you give me a thumbs up if we are still together? Oh, we have a topic: understand and apply the physical law relating to a PN junction. Oh, this is about electrical engineering. Okay, let's see if we have time. Okay, we have another one: rate of malnutrition in Nigeria. Let's see if we have time. We can quickly. So let me move fast. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is you can decide on which of these materials should be imported into your research. So after looking at everything, you can decide that, okay, I want this in my research, I do not want this in my research. And how can you do that? If you look at it, you will see that I can click on select all, and then I can click on it, and it's going to deselect all. So you can basically choose whichever one you want in your research. So I'll be selecting all, and then I'm going to click on import. So immediately I click on import, what is going to happen is Notebook LM is going to aggregate all those materials together and import it like a party. It is going to convert it to one material and import it into the Notebook LM that you have opened. So those materials will now serve as a brain to anything that you want to ask regarding that topic, anything that you want to do regarding that topic. So let's see how that works. Now we have our topic: the risk of AI addiction and cognitive decline in youth. The risk of AI addiction and cognitive decline in youth. And we have 10 sources. And the date is July 28, 2026. Now, let's begin to ask it questions. So one of the reasons why I love Notebook LM for research is it is also interactive. So you can begin to ask specific questions, and it is not going to go outside the research materials that you have uploaded. So it is just going to look at the 10 research materials that you have uploaded, and it's going to answer you based on the findings from those research materials. So let's look at it. Give me, yeah, so I'm basically going to use my speech to text tool. Yeah. I'm basically going to use my speech to text tool now so that we can be faster. I want you to give me a summary of this topic. What do you think is the cause of the addiction, and how does it affect the cognitive strength of youths and teenagers? Full stop. Next line. Yeah, so we can see what is happening now. It is going to look at the question and it's going to look through all the materials that it has searched for and then give us answers based on those findings. And one thing I need to tell you is one of the faults of artificial intelligence is that artificial intelligence has the power to hallucinate. So hallucination means it can sometimes give you data that are not true. Notebook LM is number one in the ranking of artificial intelligence for research that does not hallucinate. So anything that is not academically proven, AI, Notebook LM will not see it as a credible source to use. That's one reason why I love Notebook LM. In the ranking of artificial intelligence for research, Notebook LM is number one. Now, you can see that it gave us a lot of things. So the root cause of AI addiction in youth is neurobiological vulnerability, the dopamine reward cycle, stimulated empathy and constant validation, psychological risk factor. Wow, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. So we can continue to ask different questions that we have in terms of this topic. Now, another thing I need to tell you is I use Notebook LM to prepare for interviews. You will not believe it. I use it to prepare for interviews. I use it to prepare for exams. I use it to prepare for interviews. I use it to prepare for exams. I use it to prepare for trainings. Now, this is how I do it. I impute the topic I want to talk about. I also use it to prepare for public speaking when I have engagement. I impute the topic I want to talk about, and then I give it a description of the kinds of audience that are there, their age, their demography, and the large kind of things that they do in terms of profession. And then I tell it that it should give me public speaking techniques that I could use to speak, to communicate this, my idea, to these people in a way that they are going to understand. And it's going to give me a lot of theories on speaking, intonation, increase and decrease of your voice, pauses, and a lot of other things. And then you can interact with it, ask it questions. The same thing applicable for students. You can just impute your topic if you are learning, if you have exam on a particular course, just impute the title of the course, and then it is going to search through the internet, bring out materials for that particular course, and then you can ask questions and it's going to give you answers, explain, and the likes. So this is a powerful tool. It is a very, very powerful tool. Can we give me a thumbs up if we can still hear me clearly and we are following? Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. So the next thing I want to show you is the right part of the screen. The right part of the screen is called the studio. I didn't mention the middle part of the screen is called the chat. We can see it on top here. And then the left part of the screen is the sources, where we have the list of the materials that we are using. Now, for the studio can help us to do 9 different things. 9 different things. So we can create an audio review of this particular topic by just clicking on audio review. So immediately we click on audio review, it is going to load and it's going to, we are going to see it generating audio review. We can also create a PowerPoint slide deck of this particular topic from the same Notebook LM. So we just need one click. You just click on it and then it's going to load and it's going to start giving you slide deck. Now, this is where it becomes more interesting. We can click on video overview and it's going to load and give you a video, a kind of YouTube video animation of this topic with voiceover explaining what each of the moving motions on the video talks about. You can also generate a comprehensive report from this topic After you've done this research, you can now generate a report about the research. You can also generate flashcards. You can generate quiz. If you are a student, you can generate quiz. You can generate infographics. So I'll just click on all, and then we see which ones come up first. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. And then I'll leave you to do further research by yourself and give us feedback on the WhatsApp group. So is there any question so far? Do we have any question? Wow, where's my screen again? Yeah, this is it. Do you have any questions so far? If you have a question, kindly raise up your hand. If you have a question, kindly raise up your hand. If you have a question, please unmute yourself and speak if there is any question. What is not clear so far? Yes, the app works on mobile phone. It works on mobile phone. Just so I would always advise, as I mentioned yesterday, instead of downloading the Notebook LM mobile app, you can just access it directly from your browser. Either you are using your Google Chrome or any of the browsers. It is accessible on a mobile phone. It is accessible on a mobile phone. You can do all this with your mobile phone. Yeah, so we have the AI flashcards. So this is the flashcard, and this is what it looks like. How does AI addiction differ from traditional internet addictions like gaming or social media? So the flashcard is just like a kind of quiz for you after reading. So this part will be useful for students that are trying to use Notebook LM to study for an exam or to study for a course or to study for an interview or anything. So how does AI addiction differ from traditional internet addictions like gaming or social media? I don't know what the answer is. So we can just click on see answer, and then it's going to give us the answer. So that's what the flashcard looks like. And then we have the, I think we have the, yes, we have the infographics. This is our infographics. This is our infographics. So we are going to have this one-page infographics. Can we see this? Can we see this? Is this not amazing? Is this not amazing? So the AI dependency trap, navigating cognitive and psychological risk. So it gives us the rise of relational displacement. It gives us another of the effects, which is dopamine-driven reward circle. It gives us another one as vulnerability of the developing brain. And then it gives us the cognitive decline, how it affects their brain power. So this is a one infographic design that gives us a summary of the entire research. Yeah, so let's check one more. Let's check one more. Let's check one more. Okay, we have the quiz. We have the quiz. This is different from the flashcard. So the quiz is basically a question with multiple choice answers that you can pick one of it. And this is also good for getting to test your knowledge about what you are doing. Yeah, so finally, the last thing I want to show you here before I move to the next part is, if we look at the right bottom part of the screen, we are going to see add note. So add note means you want to add, if you click on the add note, what it is going to do is it's going to open a new place for you to type something. If you have something that you were supposed to add and you did not include in the source, you could just type it and click on convert to source, and it's going to add it to the source where it is getting all the data. So that is that about Notebook LM. We can use Notebook LM for a lot of other things. So let me quickly initiate the process of getting the video. I would like to show us the video. So I'll click on video, and then the next thing is it is going to tell you, it's going to ask you what is the format of the video that you want. Do you want a cinematic video? Do you want an explainer video? Do you want a short that's like for Instagram, for TikTok, or maybe for YouTube shorts? So, but I think I want an explainer video. So it wants me to choose which visual style I want. So I would want the anime visual style, and so now it is asking me what should the video focus on. So which aspect of the research should the video focus on? So let's say the video should focus on signs of addiction to AI, and then I'll click on generate. So it's going to start generating. The video usually take a bit of time. So we'll come back to the video. So quickly, let's get feedback. Okay, the link to the site on the website. I'll do that after the class.
Martha, I have a question.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So aside from research work, are there other disciplines that we can use AI to explore? Say, for instance, how can we maximize AI notebook LM, particularly for fashion designing? Say, for instance, you want to learn illustrations about fashion art, which is fabric painting. Are we able to also use it to explore those subjects? Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you very much for that question. That's a very nice question. Now, one of the things that we need to understand in the usage of artificial intelligence is matching the right tools for the right purpose. This is one area where so many people that wants to go into artificial intelligence miss it. The capacity to match the right tools to the right purpose. So if we are talking about research, we are going to match notebook LM basically to research and report writing. So it is going to be research, report writing, anything that deals with academic and knowledge-based related stuffs. That's where you can maximize notebook LM. Now, if we come to the aspect you mentioned, which is illustration, and basically let's put it under one umbrella: visuals. That's visual. So the visuals can be image, it can be illustrations. We have other set of artificial intelligence tools that are very good with creating visuals, especially images. And then we have other set of artificial intelligence tools that are good with creating videos. And then we have artificial intelligence tools that are good with writing codes, building websites, building mobile applications. And then we also have artificial intelligence tools. I like referring to them as tools, so don't be offended. Tools that are very good with creating audios. So audios in terms of voiceovers, speech to text, and the likes. So I will just mention two tools that you can use for image and illustration. One of them is what we call Google Nano Banana. I believe you can hear me clearly. So I'll just type it on the chat box for you. Google Nano Banana. Yeah, thank you very much for the thumbs up. It helps me. It helps me to know that we are still together. That's Google Nano Banana. And the second one is ChatGPT Image. ChatGPT Image. These two tools are very much okay. are very much okay. Thank you very much, sir. You like the answer. Yeah, that's actually that's one of the major challenge in this race of artificial intelligence. We have so many tools that are used for so many purposes, but because everything is called AI tools or AI, some people think any tool can be used for any purpose, of which is not really like that. So the ability to match the right tools to the main purpose it will reduce 50% of the stress that many people would majorly go through. So that's just what it is. So if you are trying to look into create illustration, creating visuals, try as much as possible to use Google Nano Banana. And Google Nano Banana is basically a subset of Google Gemini. Maybe I'll show us as we move on. So we've done the first part. I believe I answered your question. Any other question? Before we
Yes, you
quickly
did. Thank
go.
you.
Yeah. So if there are other questions, if you still need other tools relating to visuals, just drop it on the WhatsApp group, and then I'm going to give us a list of so many tools that I've used, that I've tested, that are very good for visuals. Yeah, so any other question before we move on to the second part? Okay, so I believe there is no question. Any other question before we move on to the second part? So I'll wait a minute. To see if anybody is typing something. Or if you can, you can unmute yourself and speak. If you can't, you can just type it in the chat box. Okay, so let's move on, since there is no question. So the next thing that we'll be doing is we'll be going into Google Gemini, and then I'm going to show you how to link the research that we just did with Google Gemini in Notebook LM, how to link it to Google Gemini so that you can use that same result to further process your reports or your research. So I'll share my screen. Once you can see my screen, kindly confirm with a thumbs up. Immediately you can see my screen. Kindly confirm with a thumbs up if you can see, once you can see my screen. Can we see my screen yet? So I believe we can all see my screen. I believe we can all see my screen now. Let's give me thumbs up. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Now, I'll quickly go to that. We have a bit of something to cover again. Now, what we want to do is, I want to show you how to connect your Google Gemini to your Notebook LM so that it can drag those materials that Notebook LM has sourced as academic certified material concerning that topic that we are talking about. So what we just need to do is click on the plus icon. After clicking on the plus icon, we scroll down, we scroll to more uploads, and then we click on notebooks. Now, if we click on notebook, it is going to give you the list of things, projects that you have worked on your Notebook LM. However, I need to say this clearly. You must use the same email address for the Google Gemini account and the Notebook LM account. If they are two different email address, it will not pick it, or it might not pick it, or it will be difficult. You have to do some other things. But the best thing is to use the same Google account for your Google Gemini and your Notebook LM. And this is how I always advise people when I train them pertaining to artificial intelligence. Open a separate email for artificial intelligence. So you can just use an email like ai.yourname@gmail.com. So you know that everything pertaining to artificial intelligence, you are using it on that particular mail, and it is separate from your personal official mail where that you use for business transaction and other things. So we can see the risk of AI addiction and cognitive decline in youth. So I'll click on it, and then I'm going to click on add. So after clicking on add, what we want to do now is create a comprehensive global standard research book, publishable research book with Google Gemini. So I will use my speech to text, and then I'm going to prompt it. Hi, I want you to use the file attached as a reference to create a publishable global standard research work paper on the topic that is being researched on in the file attached, full stop. I want you to make sure that everything is cross-checked and they meet to global standard and also academically certified. I also want you to make sure that the references are linking to the original sources as it is in the file attached. Make sure that all is done perfectly, full stop. Before you go ahead to start giving me the results, I want you to give me a breakdown of the step-by-step of how you are going to get this done for me to approve before you move on. So I believe we can all see, So I will just copy the prompt and put it on the WhatsApp group so that we can have it. So don't mind me. There are bits of corrections there that I'm supposed to correct, but I didn't do that because AI will do that for me. So now let me explain why I had to add the last sentence in my prompt, which is I want you to give me a breakdown step by step of what you want to do before you move on. Now, what this does is it helps you to see the flow of what the AI wants to do and know if by experience, if this is going to give you a good result. Now, the reason why I said by experience is because I've been doing it for years. I've been doing this for years. So when I see the workflow, this step-by-step procedure that the AI is going to take to do this, I can tell that this is going to give me a good result or not. So as you start, you begin to notice the similarities in steps. And then from there, when you see the kind of step and you see the kind of results that you get, it helps you to understand what step gives you better results. And subsequent times, as you are doing that, you begin to understand and improve wherever necessary in these steps. So that's the reason why I had to include that. So he's telling me that for phase 1, it is going to check neural, biological, and cognitive mechanism. That's good. Step-by-step draft outline. Okay. Title, abstract, keywords. So it's 250 to 300 words. That's good. It's going to do introduction and problem statements, theoretical and neurobiological foundations. That's good. Empirical findings and quantitative synthesis, psychological, relational, and behavioral dynamics, pedagogical intervention, comprehensive research agenda and policy directives, rigorous reference lists and citation linking, quality control and academic standard. So I believe we can see what is happening here. It is telling me step by step what it wants to do. So you can give me a thumbs up. You can give me a thumbs up if you're still enjoying the session. Yeah, so we'll just approve the requests. We'll just approve the requests. So we'll just approve the request. I'll just tell it. The request is approved. You can go ahead to give me the final answer. Full stop. Next line. Yeah, so this is going to give me the final answer. Let me quickly see if our video for the notebook LM is still generating. The video actually take a bit of a time, depending on how strong the internet facility you are using is. So I would definitely want us to see the video so that we can understand what it looks like. We can actually use those videos on our Instagram, on our YouTube shorts, on our YouTube. You can use it on your TikTok, and you can literally start a TikTok channel or an Instagram channel, just knowing how to combine these tools together without really knowing even what to talk about. You use the tool to get the topics that are trending. It is going to give you the scripts and so much more, but that's a training for another time. Yeah, so we have this cognitive offloading, attentional fragmentation, and psychological dependency, a global empirical data synthesis on generative AI reliance and adolescent development. So I think this is cool. Introduction and problem statement, and then we have it. It's still working on it. It's still working on it. So if you remember, I said that the first that we are going to be using is Notebook LM, and then we'll move to Google Gemini. So after Google Gemini, I will just move to DeepSeek. And what I'll be using DeepSeek AI to do is to critique it if it meets with global standard. So these are combinations that I do personally that gives me the best result. And I've tried it over time for months, close to 2 years now, or close to 2 years now, to see how these combinations has given me best results in the kinds of research or reports that I do. So we'll just wait for this to load through. And so before it is loading, your network is really bad. Don't worry, there will be a recording. I would make sure I'll work on after the classes, after the 3-day session. I would work on the recordings and see how I'll get it across to us so that we can rewatch it and then see some parts that your network was not good while I was explaining that part. So any question concerning what I just did, any question, you have anything that you do not really understand why I did that or how it is done, in maybe from the linking of the Notebook LM to the Google Gemini and then the way I crafted my prompts, any question. So I'll be expecting any question if we have. Now, Google Gemini is done with what we asked it to do. And now what I want to do is I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to scroll down. So it is even giving me the references. Yeah, it's giving me the references. This is very much interesting. This is very much interesting. Now, one of the things I do is after I get this, the next thing I want to do is to export it to document. So once I click on export to document, it is going to export it to your Google Doc and it will be saved there so that even if anything happens to this particular interface or this particular tool, you have your reference materials back in your Google Doc. And you can also export as PDF. So once you click on the 3 dots on the top right corner of your screen, you can export as PDF. So when you export as PDF, it is going to keep it in it's going to download it as a PDF file on your device. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to click on copy response. I'm going to click on copy response. I'll wait for it to copy, and then I'll move to DeepSeek AI. So DeepSeek AI is good for critiquing. So what I mean by that is I'll tell you to act like a global standard. What's happening? I'll tell you to act like a global standard reports writer and researcher that has a number of years of experience. So it should look at this report or this research work and critique it. What are the things that do not meet up to global standard on this particular report? So I don't know why I'm having. Okay, so maybe I'll just download as PDF. Why am I having this? So I can just refresh and download as PDF. After downloading as PDF, I'll just move to DeepSeek, upload it to DeepSeek, give it the prompt, and then see what DeepSeek could figure out from the file as the challenges. And once we see that, we'll now move it to Queen AI to rectify those challenges for us. After that, we'll now move it to Claude AI to give us a final global standard structure of how it is going to look like. So as it is loading, any question? Is there any question from anybody? Is there any question? Wow, our time is fast spent. So let's go to DeepSeek quickly. So this is DeepSeek. The name of the AI is DeepSeek.com. So what I use DeepSeek to do basically is to critique whatever I do. So it's just like having different opinions of people on the same topic. So if I use Google Gemini for a particular project, I will not want to use Google Gemini to critique it because the model is going to side the work that is done by his model. So I would rather use another AI tool. And since DeepSeek is a China AI, that's how they call it. But AI basically are the same, irrespective of the country that produced it. So we just determine how we want it to work. So let me export to PDF. So I'll be exporting to PDF. No, I'm not printing. Just want to save as PDF. Yeah, so research paper outline approved. So I'll just save. That's good. That's good. So I have it saved, and then we'll just move to DeepSeek AI. So kindly confirm if you can see my screen. If you can see DeepSeek AI on my screen. Kindly confirm if you can see DeepSeek AI on my screen. So I'll just share the entire screen so that we do not have to break the flow again. Okay. Yeah, so this is DeepSeek. Let's check our, yes. Let's quickly go back to our notebook LM. The video is ready. The video is ready. So let me play the video for us. Let me play the video for us to see. So this is the video. So this is the video. Before we go fast, before we move on, can we hear the audio? Can we hear what the video is saying? Please, someone should quickly respond so I'll know if Okay, we can't. Okay, so let me stop sharing and reshare again now so it can pick the sound. Yeah, so I believe we can see now. Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen? Okay. So can we, if you can hear the sound.
And it literally affects almost anyone with a smartphone or laptop right now. So let's get into it. Before we jump into the heavy clinical data, I want you to really chew on this question for a second. Is your AI making you smarter, or is it just making decisions for you?
Did we hear the sound? Okay, okay. So let's just enjoy maybe like 2 minutes of what the video is saying.
It's a pretty provocative thought, right? I mean, we use these tools every single day to draft emails, plan our meals, troubleshoot code. But at what point does a super helpful tool cross that invisible line and become a full-blown dependency? Well, to answer that, let's jump right into Section 1. What is AI addiction? The diagnosis. Okay, let's break down this definition straight from the Addiction Center.
So this is
AI
our video.
addiction is an
Let's
emerging
not take
phenomenon
much of our
where
time. I'll download the video and send it to the WhatsApp group so that we can all see it later. Yeah, I've downloaded it. You can't see my screen. Oh, maybe it's the network. Can anybody else not see my screen? If you can see my screen, kindly give me a thumbs up. Okay, so we'll quickly go to DeepSeek so that will not take much of our time. What I want to do with DeepSeek is to import the file that I downloaded, the file we created on ChatGPT, and then I want you to critique it to see if it meets global standard. Hi, I want you to look at this research paper that is attached. I want you to act as I made a mistake. So I made a mistake in my prompts. I'll start again. I want you to act as a global researcher that's focused on artificial intelligence, technology, and how it affects teenagers and humans at large, with 5 years of experience in writing global research paper and publishing it. I want you to critique this particular research work that is attached and give me a list of what is working, what met the global standard, and what did not meet up to the global standard, and what to do to the parts that did not meet up to the global standard to make it a global standard research paper that can be published. Full stop. Yeah, so that's that. That's what I'm going to give to DeepSeek. And DeepSeek is going to critique it and tell us what is working and what is not working. And then we'll pick that information, we'll use it to refine our file again with another AI tool. So I just want us to see the variety of the tools that I'm using so that we will not basically depend on one particular tool for different AI. So it is always good when you combine tools. You get more results when you combine tools. So it's just like in the multitude of asking questions from people, you will get more opinions. And when you gather those opinions together and sit with it, you can use those opinions to get a very good and impressive thought. So let's see what DeepSeek is saying. So DeepSeek said, what is working? Research topic and significance is working, is global standard. It says the justification meets global standard. It says theoretical framework meets global standard. Presentation of empirical data meets global standard. Identification of novel concepts meets global standard. Policy implications and research agenda, are we seeing it? Meets global standard. So now these are the list of things that do not meet global standard. Methodology So the paper is described as a metasynthetics, but lacks a clearly defined systematic methodology for study selection, inclusion / exclusion criteria, and data extraction. So another thing that it is saying that is not meeting global standard is lack of critical appraisal. And the third thing is depth of synthesis. The next thing is generalizability and nuance. And then the last thing is structural issue. Sorry, the fifth thing is structural issue, while the last thing is clarity in research agenda. Now, what we want to do now is go to Queen AI and upload our file. Upload our file. What's happening here? Okay, try Queen. Upload our file on Queen AI and tell it that it should. So the first thing, upload the file. So which is this. After uploading the file, I'll go back to my critique from DeepSeek. I'll copy it and then bring it to Queen AI. So I'll tell it to use the below information, the critique part, to adjust the file so that it can meet up the critique part and become a global standard document. So I want you to use the information below, especially the area of the critique where the part does not meet up with the global standard. Look at it and then look at the recommendations and use it to adjust this file that is being attached. Full stop. So I'll just paste the results from DeepSeek and then I'll click on send. So as that is sending, do we have any question? So Mr. June, can you see my screen now? Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? So Queen is still loading. Do we have any question so far? Do you have any questions so far? If you have a question, you can kindly unmute yourself and speak. So as we are waiting for the question, I would like to share, I'd like to say something. I'd like to show something to us. If I do not do this, I forgot to do this yesterday and it's almost attracted a sanction. Yeah, so it is good to do this. It is good to do this. So the organization that actually put this together, that I'm representing to facilitate this training, is AI Accelerators. And what they do is they do training and consulting, and they also engage in development. So they train staffs, organizations, businesses, C-suite leaders on AI ethics, responsible use of AI, global standard, AI software and website training. They train the staffs how to build softwares, build websites for different aspects of their business. They also train AI graphics design and branding. We also do AI content creation. If you want to engage in content creation for monetization, we also train people on AI automation, how to build automation systems for that will automatically run processes in their business or in different aspects of their lives without them having to always check and do something. And we also build, so for some organization, they want us to train their staffs to know how to do those things. For some organization, they'll say, no, we don't want it. Just come and build it for us. We also engage in building websites, building softwares, building AI automation, building content development package that you can use for your content development, for your social media content delivery on different platforms. And we also do AI for graphic design and branding. Thank you very much for listening. So if you would want to reach out to them, you can reach out to them on this email or this WhatsApp number. So this is basically my WhatsApp number. You can reach out to me if you have any question regarding their services and the likes. So I believe Queen AI is done. Oh, I'm not logged in. Wow. I thought I did. I thought I did. What? Don't tell me I'll start again. Don't tell me I have to start again. Is this? Don't tell me I have to start again. So one of the reasons, this is another one that I did earlier. Wow. So quickly, let's just run through the process again. I'll come to DeepSeek. I'll copy that, then paste it, and then I'm going to upload my file. I'm going to upload my file, research paper outline. Then I'm going to tell it that it should use the information below. I want you to look at the research paper attached and look at the information below. Use the information below, especially the parts that recorded what is not working, to adjust the research paper that is attached so that it can meet up a global standard. Full stop. And so we'll just search through that. Yeah. Any question? You can't see my screen. Wow. So maybe I don't know what to say about that. But don't worry. Just try as much as possible to follow through. You will get the recording. Now, finally, I would want to appeal to us to do me a favor if this has actually been insightful to you. Do me a favor, kindly do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, I have some trainings on my YouTube channel also. You want to learn how to use artificial intelligence to create images, and kindly do well to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thank you in anticipation. And also, I would also want us to kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel of the organization, that's AI Accelerators, AI Accelerators Africa. AI Accelerators Africa. Kindly do well to subscribe. Once you are done, you can give me a thumbs up. So I believe Queen should be done. Okay, it's still working on it. So if I will be dropping the services and the contact page of the organization on the WhatsApp group in case you have any requests, inquiries. And we also have some free training. So training like this particular one that we are doing, we also have the free versions of it. You can reach out to us if you have maybe a group, maybe your community, or maybe you are in a youth community or any community and you want them to also learn these things. So this aspect of the training is basically for free. You can reach out to me on WhatsApp, and then we'll schedule a date that is convenient for myself and the people you want us to train, and then we'll work things out. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you are still with me, can you give me a thumbs up? If you are still with me, can you give me a thumbs up? If you are still with me, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay. I can see thumbs up. I can see thumbs up. So Queen AI is still working. Queen AI is still okay. It's done. So we'll copy the result of Queen AI, and then we'll go to the final part, which is our Claude AI. Claude is best for structure. Claude is best for structure. So what I want to say, what I will just do is give it my prompt. Hi, I want you to look at this content below that is attached. Look at both contents and match them together to create a global standard research paper that can be published. So I'll paste in the final output from Queen AI, and then I'm going to attach our previous file from our device. So after we do that, I hope I still have, and then I'll just click on send. I'll click on send, and then it will work on it and then give it to us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Subscribe on both channels. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. This is one way you could just encourage me personally and then encourage the organization for putting this together. So Claude AI is going to make everything beautiful and structure everything. So if we have any question, let's do well to ask any question. Any question? Do we have any question? Any question? You can unmute yourself and ask a question, either relating to this particular one or what we did earlier in any of this, from the notebook LM till we get to Claude AI. If there's any question, kindly unmute yourself and speak. Now, if there's no question, I want us to give me feedback. What have you learned so far? What tool are you just hearing or are you just seeing for the first time? And what have you learned so far? Let's put it on the chat box. Let's put it on the chat box. Please type your name, what you have learned so far, your name, what you have learned so far, and which of these tools is the first time that you're coming across it. Let's put it on the chat box. I'm expecting that.
I have a question. I just
Okay,
wanted
you
to
have a question.
yes. Thanks so much for everything you've shared so far. Basically, actually, I'm learning about Queen AI for the first time today. Like, I never heard about it. Thank you for sharing. And also the integration of different AI tools to produce like a global standard work. That's also applaudable. Thank you. My question is, after going through all this process, are there platforms where we can actually upload the finalized work to? And
Yes.
is there also a way that you can? There's this word that I want to use. Is there a way, there's something called plagiarism in journalism. So you might not be able to publish some of these works because majority of it has inputs, like a larger portion of it has input from different researchers across the globe. So are there platforms where we can upload this finalized research work to? And have you uploaded any? Were there processes you need to go to ensure that it's made up and it's actually attributed to your name alone? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. That's a very thoughtful question. Now I'm going to start like this. To battle plagiarism, in artificial intelligence, one of the things that we do is to sit on the final draft and then include our own knowledge. Now, this is the basic way I can explain it. Most of the tools that let's use Grammarly as an example, or let's use Turnitin. Turnitin is a very good example. Now, if you use Turnitin to check the file that we are producing, that's this research work that we are producing, it will flag some parts as that it is plagiarized. Now, what you can do from my experience is read that part and rewrite it in another words. It's very simple. So for example, if it flags a part that this part is somebody's work, you can do two things. One, reference the person, the real owner of the work, or read that part, understand it, and rewrite it or retype it in your own words, that it is still going to capture the idea, but it is going to be coming like a new content, something of such, but the idea is going to still be the same. So once the idea is the same, you do not really have a plagiarism issue, because many of the things that we have now as new knowledge are not actually new knowledge. They are just resurfacing in different people's words, different ideas, or different, how will I put it, different rendering. That's the word. So it is just like someone is these ideas, even this concept of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence was first mentioned, I think, 1970 something. So a lot of all these things have been in existence for a very long time, all these knowledges. Now, what you need to do is pick the knowledge, look at the part that has issue with the plagiarism, read it, understand it, and re-render it in your own words, that it is going to still hold the idea, but not exactly the way it is being put by somebody else. That's one thing to do. Now, the second thing to do is the second question about uploading it. So majorly, the people I work with for research are students, basically for projects, BSc, NC, PhD. I've had just one PhD. Now, the basic purpose of the research that they do, something like the end of the school project, or what do they call it, final year project, is just basically to submit. So instead of having to take a lot of time to do that write-up, do that research, you can use these tools to do the research and then focus on the practical part of your project. So that's basically what this is for. So if you want to upload it and it should be attributed to your name, then we are now going to subject it to more scrutiny, so that there will be no issue of any form of plagiarism. And it will also reference that AI is used in this research, because that is one thing that I believe has been approved for academic setting now. If you use AI for a research, it is not like a grievous thing. You just need to reference the tool that you used. So that's, did I answer your question? Did I answer your question, or which part did I not answer?
Yeah, yes, you did. I was actually wondering if you are able to put it on platforms like Amazon KPD. In past times, they employ people to review books and pay them. So I was looking for the possibility of one coming up with a write-up, because at the end of the day, we are still putting in some time and energy into doing all this research. Just that we have tools that helps us get the results at a faster pace. So I was looking forward to like a platform where we can upload the finalized research to, and other scholars will be
Okay,
able to
I get your
view.
question. Now, let me do something. I think I have a professional in the house. Tolani, are you available?
So, Adigun. Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you say something about that? So this is someone I know very well. I've known him for over 5 years, and he is into Amazon KDP, book publishing, and a lot of other things. So if we have this kind of material, can we publish? Can we do a book review and publish it? Is it possible? What are the
Okay, this
things?
is
What are some criteria?
okay. This is more like research writing, and just like you've mentioned it, the perfect target for this is university students, students in schools that want to do projects and the rest. So Amazon is not a research platform for book publishing. Like it's not a platform for research publishing. It is basically for book publishing. That is the KDP aspect of it. So the best way to monetize this research process is to probably get audience in universities who are final year, and you propose to write their projects for them and handle their project writing. That is the best way you can utilize this. You can monetize this research process. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So that's basically one way I monetize it. I really do not, I've not published any. I've not published any. Personally, I've not published any. But I think the highest level of student I've worked with is a PhD holder. And we've done it since, I think that should be, we've done it since around May, and the person has finished, defended, and no issue. So I believe that answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so if there are more questions, please we'll get them. I'll get them in the chat on WhatsApp. So let me show us. So I'm looking at that will. Please give me a minute. So yeah, so any other question? Any other question? So we are just waiting for our Google Cloud to complete the process. So let me share my screen. It's still working though. Do we have any other question? Where is it? Creating a global standard. Okay. Yeah, so I've only seen just one person, what he or she has learned today, Notebook LM. Okay, someone also mentioned Queen AI. So please let me hear from us. What have you, which tool are you just getting to know about just today? And also what have you learned today? So tomorrow is going to be very interesting. Tomorrow is the last day. So tomorrow we will be building a website, and a mobile app if time permits, a website and a mobile app. So I'll be showing us how to use different tools to build a website. I will show us different tools, and then I'm going to explain the level of expertise that you should have to be able to use those tools. And then I'm going to show us the ones that you do not really need to know anything about coding or anything at all. But there are some that you need to have a bit of knowledge on the infrastructure, on the operational workflow of how a website works, how a mobile app works. But there are tools also that you do not really need to know anything about that. You just prompt in English and then it gives you the result. Okay, so Tolani is new to Notebook LM. Deborah is also new to Notebook LM. That's good. So others, are we together? Let's give me a thumbs up if you are still with me. The time is fast spent. We'll close in few minutes. Okay. So I'm basically waiting for Claude AI to finish this, and then we call it a day, and we'll see it tomorrow. Kindly do well to subscribe on my personal YouTube channel and also the organization's YouTube channel. And very soon we'll be having another training, hopefully another training. We are trying to put together a training on introduction to artificial intelligence, where we are not going to use the big words that are the normal things that you see on YouTube. It is going to be as basic as possible in a way that a 10-year-old should be able to understand. We've started, actually, we've done a test run of the first one. It is on the organization's YouTube. You could check it out and drop your comments. Any course you would want us to work on, you could drop it there. Yeah, so can we see my screen? I think Claude is already giving us a result. One of the reasons why I love Claude and why I use it last is it is going to give you a very beautiful, well-structured document. Can we see? It is going to give you a very beautiful, well-structured document. Well-structured. Wow, this is cool. So this is the reference. These are the references. Wow. These are the references. Can we see it? Please give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. So I'll just download it and then I'll send it to our group on WhatsApp. So before we call it a day, any question? Anybody wants to say something? Any question before we move on? So I think I would like us to follow up on the question Omowumi asked. So Omowumi, kindly send me a DM on WhatsApp. I'll communicate with Adetolani, and then we'll see how we could sort that issue that you mentioned and see how we can start publishing. When you publish research paper online, do they get paid for it? Does anybody have an idea? Do they get paid? Yeah, you can speak, Omowumi. When we publish a research paper, do people get paid? Who has an idea? Anybody? Nobody. So I'll find out. I'll get in touch with some of the professors in our institution that I know that have published a paper in their name, and then we'll ask them. So if it is something that is lucrative, I think we now have a business. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Any question? So finally, before we go, I want someone to unmute and just say something, what he or she has learned today, and that will be the end. We'll call it a day at exactly 23:40. Nobody is talking. Please, let's not behave like Africans. Please, let's be proactive. We'll talk now.
Okay. So thank you so much for this training. I really appreciate. I've been looking for trainings like sponsored trainings on AI, and most of them have been paid for. Like I was literally online searching different sites randomly to see if I would get. But fortunately enough, I saw my email this morning, and I saw, oh, there was one that started yesterday, and I didn't even get the email until today. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for the time, energy, and knowledge shared so far. I really appreciate.
Thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Now, before we go, I'll say something. After tomorrow's class, I'm going to look for a time in my calendar that I'm free, and then I'm going to source out some free AI trainings that I've taken before and see which of them are still available. I'll put them on the group so we can just engage in it. And if we could not find any at the moment, of which there is already one on the group, kindly do well to register. It is being hosted by Landmark University. So please do well to register. It is going to be very much interesting, very, very much interesting. I also registered, even though I have so much knowledge in artificial intelligence, but learning never ends. Learning never ends, especially in terms of artificial intelligence. Every day, we have thousands of new AI tools being released every day. And we are also working on our own AI tool that we are releasing soon. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow, 10 p.m., same time. If you have any question, kindly drop it on the WhatsApp channel. Please don't forget to engage the YouTube channels. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow.